Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here, Golden Opportunities Coaching. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. We break down spiritual, coaching, and emotional topics into discernible language for everyone's benefit, or at least we hope. And we try to do that as often as we can. There's literally over 180 audio's up now, so something for everybody, at least I hope. Please like, subscribe, comment, and if there's a topic you'd like covered, comment below and we can make that happen for you. Today we're going to talk about absent parents and the effects thereof. Absent parenthood is a major issue depending on your experiences and where you are in the country. Up to over 60% of people grow up in single-parent homes now, and also sometimes, many times actually now, other generations or the foster care system, other people are raising children. What is the effect of a absent parent? We're going to talk about 6 or 7 things that I've noticed there. So one thing that's there is lower problem-solving skills. An engaged parent is going to teach their child, hopefully, ways to solve problems, ways to navigate life in a consistent way. And so if a child feels constantly insecure, which absent parenthood does create insecurity, why wasn't I enough to get this person to love me? Why wasn't I valuable enough for them to sacrifice, and all these things? Now, sometimes that starts very, very young, 4 or 5 years old. Other times it doesn't hit until pre-teenage years, and sometimes it hits in teenage years when a teenager realizes, wait a minute, you made an active decision. Now, that's not to say that every person who is a parent biologically should be one. So there are cases, albeit rare, where it is better for the child to be raised in a single parent or alternative family environment. But for the purposes of this audio, we're strictly talking about the effects of absent parenthood. And the lower skill level also can relate to practical things like how to balance a checkbook, how to make decisions, because again, understand that a single parent has to make decisions much differently than a well-rounded family unit where both parents are involved, either in separate homes or in the same environment. The second thing is brain change. So the stress of wondering why the child is not enough actually has been shown in some neurological and scientific research to have effects on brain chemistry, which will affect thing number 3, which is mental health. So the basic thought there is when a person, especially children, fixate on ideas specifically from the ages of 7 to 12, they will often, if they are depressive or negative thoughts, create different neuronic pathways as it relates to the emotional context and cortex of the brain. And so what begins to happen is that child will have different worldviews and thereby different emotional responses to things like attachment and love and connection and feeling like they can ask for help and all sorts of other emotional development related things, which then leaves them more susceptible to feelings of depression, feelings of anxiety, feelings of frustration, anger, bitterness, despair, and confusion, and other things which can gateway into mental health issues, including biological portions of depression as well as bipolar disorder and other things. Now, this is not a guarantee, and it's not medical diagnosis. However, research has shown that children who come from unbalanced homes or homes where there is only one parent present or alternative homes where neither parent is present are more likely to develop mental health challenges because of the internal struggle that they have to deal with from a very early age related to why they weren't enough for involvement from their parent. This constant struggle will lead to addictive behavior development in many cases. Now, addictive behaviors can run the gamut from physical and sexual addiction to self-harm and self-hate related addictions, not limited to alcoholism, physical self-harm, drug use, and other things, also gambling and negative thought addiction, as well as attention-seeking behaviors, which is the gateway to Machiavellianism, as well as, but not limited to, narcissism. Now, again, not to say that every person who is in a single parent environment will turn out this way. The value of mentorship, the value of other family involvement, also the mirror imaging of healthy relationships in their friends' parents or in grandparents or other family structures can subvert and work around these issues. However, if a child does not have access to things to model, it does become exceptionally challenging and somewhat negative to, in fact, deal with those unexpected challenges in a way that's, ultimately not very helpful and can lead to a number of problems. Now, the next thing here is lower options for education. Now, that can mean a couple of things. One, the focus during primary, secondary, and high school can be harder for a child that doesn't know where their basic needs are going to be met. And it is proven that parents who are in single-parent environments or single-parent families are more likely to struggle with poverty and food insufficiency and other issues, which then means that a child has to worry about adult-related issues. Where am I going to get fed? Where am I going to sleep? Are we going to have enough money to keep the lights on or pay rent this month? These are things that children, a lot of parents don't worry about, but children are very perceptive. If they hear about the same thing over and over and over again in their home environment, they will eventually figure out that, number one, this is a real problem. Number two, if their parent keeps bringing it up, they don't have a workable solution. And number three, if there isn't a workable solution, how secure are they really? Now, the last one in this situation is attachment either quickly or attachment avoidance. The relationship to social attachment and thereby building of friendships and romantic relationships has been proven to be dramatically affected by the challenges associated with single parenthood. If a person, male or female, regardless of gender identity or any other qualifier, does not believe that their parent can have a healthy relationship, they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to avoid relationships altogether, or they're going to sometimes rush or make extra important or overly important the relationships they're in to prove that they are not like the parent, because there's still a wound related to, in many cases, the feeling that if the parent didn't do it, they have to do it so that they can prove they're worthy to be loved, so that they can prove they have value. The rushing through the process becomes a central force and central figure. So those are the things I wanted to touch on. If there's anything I can do to help with this particular issue or any other challenges you may be having, please feel free to follow on Twitter at PO Perception, and or please also feel free to drop a message in the YouTube message box. You can PM me directly, and we can set up a conversation. In any event, until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.